Hey everybody, Excalibur here from Excalibur's Own Gaming, and I've got another unboxing. This time, we are looking at Avengers vs. X-Men dice, the Marvel Dice Masters. We got 5 boosters here, and comes with 2 cards and 2 dice. Each, if you take a look at the back, each card represents a hero, and it comes with a die that results with it, that pairs up with it. And I'll show you what it looks like, what it means. Now, if you've ever done Quarriors, this is exactly the same thing, only using superheroes. Now, here's the first pet peeve about these boosters. Flimsy little plastic. And apparently, WizKids thinks that children open up these, and they don't care about the condition of the cards. Now, granted, these cards generally aren't made to be shuffled into a pack, but it's irritating nonetheless to get these all bent out of shape. Well, first off, we have Captain America's vibranium sword. Oof, I'm really out of it, aren't I? His vibranium shield, and you'll notice that there are a couple of things here. Let's see if I can't do that. Now I'll get the dice. We have it right here. It comes with a die that matches, and you'll notice that it has the matching faces that you see down at the bottom. Shield with asterisks. There's one with a single asterisk there. There we go. And then there's a single shield here somewhere. I think I keep missing it. There it is, single shield. Now, if you roll the die, and say I do that right now, I get shield, which you'll see down at the bottom, and you'll see global, pay shield to prevent 1 damage to a character or player. Now, this is an equipment card that you can use, and rolling shield will prevent 2 damage to a character during a combat. And at the start of your attack step, choose an energy type. This turn, characters of that type take no damage. And I'll show you what the type is in a moment with the other card. But the artwork is pretty nice, and it's a one of a kind, so I guess that means it's a legendary. Now, I don't have the actual rules to Dice Masters because WizKids had printed so few of these things that it's been a pain in the butt to get any starters. I think my local gaming store is going to have one this week, and I've got to remind the manager to hold a copy for me if that's even possible. Well, here's a character card, and let's get that up there. As you can see, it's got the same 6 dice. You've got an energy, a double energy, and then you've got his visor. So 1, 5, 3, and then each number means something. It's like how much it costs to use him, how much his power or defense is, stuff like that. So there you go. That's all that. Now up here you'll see that he has a 7, which I'm not sure what that means, and a lightning bolt, which I believe either that or this is his type. I think the lightning bolt is his energy type. Now, if Cyclops is blocked, you may have him deal damage to your opponent instead of his blockers. If you do so, he goes to your used pile during cleanup. So, this is a creature die that is usually kept down, I believe. I haven't read the actual rules. I'm going to see if there's any online rules for them. But so far, it's been pretty interesting. I think this right here, the symbol, is his team affiliation, and right here is his energy type. This is probably his cost to get him, and I don't know if you have to use a cost dice like in Quarriors or not to get your characters. I am a sucker for custom dice games. Quarriors and Marvel Dice they itch that scratch, or they scratch that itch that I have for this. And they've got a Forgotten Realms dice that's set that are coming out as well. And oh boy, I don't have the money for all this, but I really love these styles of games. some of my gaming group, they dislike the randomness of it, but I tell them, I don't care. I love the games. So here's two new characters. We've got, whoop, there we go, Loki the Trickster, and it looks like he has some type of power. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe stealth or trickery or mischief. And then we have, he's part of Hydra. When fielded, capture an opposing die of equal or lower level. Return it to your opponent's field at the end of the turn. Then here's his dice. Everybody has their own dice, and it's right here is his die. This one is a nice translucent. All these custom dice just make me swoon. The other card is Dr. Octopus. Now, I don't know if that's a Hydra symbol. That sure looks like Hydra. So, it makes me wonder why Loki is a part of Hydra. So, Dr. Octopus is fully armed. When blocked, any damage that Dr. Octopus does in excess of his blocking character's total defense is dealt to your opponent. Now, from what I understand, Dice Masters is a lot like Magic the Gathering, where, oh, and here's Doc Ock's die, where you each have 20 life, and it's the goal to use your heroes or villains to knock down your opponent's life total. So, I think that's how it goes. And it's a one-on-one, a 1v1, but there might be variant rules and stuff like that for the different cards. I don't know how to tell the rarities of these dice or anything like that. So that's neither here nor there. So here's the next set of cards. We've got Gambit, Ace in the Hole. Yeah, very punny stuff. And it looks like he's got another. He's a stealthy dude too from the X-Men. When fielded, you may draw and roll one die, place in your reserve pool. And then asterisk, instead draw 2 dice, roll one of them, and then return the other to your bag. Now, it looks like this has a whole dice bag mechanic as well, where you have your dice in a bag and you randomly draw them out and then roll them. And then there's his die, and you can see it's got Ace of Spades down there, or diamonds or something. It looks like Ace of Spades. And max 4. So that might be... I didn't even notice that. There's max 4, max 4, max 4. Let's take a look at Cap's shield. Max 4. So it looks like this is for deck construction or bag construction, so you can have a maximum of 4 dice of Gambit in your bag. I think that's how that works. And then we have Thor, God of Thunder, max 5. That is interesting that he could have 5 dice. And he's affiliated with the Avengers, and he's a energy type, or electric type, I guess you could say. At the start of each attack step, Thor gets +4 attack and +4 defense for each opposing power character on the field, so fighting character. I haven't run across a fighting character. Dr. Octopus had a shield. So apparently the different energy types are like Mask, Fist, Lightning Bolt, and the dice. You see the faces on the card, so we don't have to show the dice, but I am going to anyway. You can see they're nice, high quality, and there's Gambit's clubs, and it looks like they're all clubs. It would have been nice if each of the faces had a different card, like Ace of Spades, Ace of Clubs, that kind of thing. So I'm seeing a lot of shields and energy and masks, so maybe use those to buy, because you need the energy types. So you build your deck based on the energy type up here. I don't know. And we got another Cyclops, okay. And then Green Goblin. There's 4 in energy. When fielded, you may roll up to 2 sidekick dice from your used pile. You cannot roll dice that paid to field this die. Place roll dice in your reserve pool. Global, pay energy and knock out one of your sidekick characters to deal 2 damage to a target character. So that's I guess the Goblin grenade that he normally fires. Maybe this symbol up here means villain rather than Hydra. And then you can see there's energy, 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 and then the 3 character dice. So these here provide this power, and can possibly be used to summon the guy to the field, to the attack area. I'm not sure. That's how it generally works for Quarriors. And then of course there's the dice. So I've got 2 Cyclops dice already, so 1 duplicate. So he might be a common or maybe an uncommon, I'm unsure. So let's see here. Let's see what else we have. So the last pack, I opened up 5 at the store to see what these were like, because I hadn't held these in my hand. It looks like we probably have another duplicate, but I get that when everything is random. Okay, so we have Magneto, which I already have at least 2 of him. Former comrade, looks like a villain. Magneto gets +2 attack and +2 defense when engaged with an X-Men character. Then there's his die faces, max 4. So I think this might be villain power, and this might be his stealth ability. And then there's Loki again. So there you go. But this Loki the Illusionist, maximum of 3. Oh, he might be. That's not a rare. Well, that's not a duplicate. Let's take a look here. I've got the other one over here. Ooh, yeah. Yep. We have Loki the Trickster and Loki the Illusionist. They're going to have different powers, but they're going to have the same die face. Ooh, there we go. So you can see the same die face, but they're going to have different powers that happen, and they cost different amounts. So let's take a look at the Cyclops. They have 2 different Cyclops as well. Cyclopson. Okay, so we have the Slim Cyclops. When Cyclops is blocked by more than 1 character, he deals damage equal to his full attack to each character blocking him, instead of having to split it. And you can have 4 of them. And then the other one we read, which is the Scott Summers one. You may have him deal damage to your opponent instead of the blockers. And max 4 as well. I'm not used to the mirror effect, so you can see different costs. I think those are the costs because that's how it is in Quarriors. So there we have it. We have a bunch of them. We got equipment. We got 2 levels of 2 different cards. I'm gonna have to look at the other cards I opened, because I got some Magnetos and they might be completely different Magnetos. Now, the awesome thing about this game system is, even though we got 2 Lokis and 2 Scott Summers, I'll pull up both of those dice. The dice are identical. So you can see the 2 Cyclops dice up at the top. They're going to have the same faces, and same thing with the Loki. But the way that the dice are used are dictated by the cards. So you can have different levels of each character, and based on the level of the character, the name, like Magneto, former comrade. So that's one of the things that you'll see there. You'll have the names: Slim, Dr. Octopus, fully armed. So that might be his ultimate form of 6. So he might have a 5 and a 4 or a 3 or something like that that you can get out. So you're sort of like leveling up your character as you go along through the fight. I'll have to look into that and take a look at the rules. But it's the cards that dictate how the dice are used, and that's the mechanic that I really like about the WizKids games. Quarriors is awesome. I'm trying to get every expansion for that, and I really need to get the starter set for this so that I can sit down and play with my friends, because I'd like to try and do some drafts or some constructed events just for the fun of it, you know. So the dice mechanics are just sweet because you can have 1 die and multiple cards. I've actually been thinking about doing some specialized card and dice game combinations for doing some fantasy combat battles and stuff like that, just for the sheer fun of it. There are a lot of print and play rules out there. I think Warrior Dice is one of them. You have a card that has a bunch of abilities on it, and based on what you roll on a D10 is what the character does. It's completely random, but it's a kind of fun game. we found that the most fun with that game was creating the characters. Somebody created some character, I can't remember what it is. One of his abilities was Diaper Bomb. And every time that went off, everybody cringed like, mm. And then I created a Smurf. I think it was Handy Smurf that smurfed you. Every attack was I smurf you, I smurf you, I smurf you, because Smurfs use the word smurf all the time. It was quite a fun time. But that's it for this unboxing. We got 10 shiny new cards and 10 new dice, which, by the way, if you're into it, you can actually create your own versions of these cards, use these dice for other things. But I haven't gotten around to that yet. I'm sure there are a lot of people who have done so. One of the things I'd really like to do is take the old FASRIP, the old TSR-based Marvel role-playing system, and or maybe even the Saga Edition or some of the newer role-playing systems, and take the superpowers and assign the superpowers special abilities and stuff, and use the dice, and then create a card-based game based on those abilities. So if you have Spider-Man and you roll the dice, you get such amount of energy that you can use to power his abilities on this character sheet, that kind of thing. That might be some fun role-playing aspect down the line. Don't know, we'll have to see. But mainly I've got to get a hold of the main rulebook. I think WizKids might have it on their site. I don't think so. I don't know. They tend to support it that way. At least they do with Quarriors. But we'll have to find out. So maybe it's when you hit Board Game Geek, somebody has it up there. Well, in any case, until next time, enjoy playing games. Enjoy playing Dice Masters. If you've played it, let me know what you think about it, because I really want to play. And as soon as copies hit the shelves, they disappear, and I never see the people who buy them. So I can't play the game against anybody. If I have my own starter set, then I can actually do something. But we just generally never get the product in. It's hard to find outside of Amazon, and that runs high. So please like, favorite, and subscribe if you want to see more of these unboxings of various products. I don't care what product I'm opening. If it's a board game or dice game or card game, I'll open it up and show you the components and talk about them, read off the abilities, just like I did here. Please take a moment to go to my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/ExcaliburZone, and read what I'm doing all this content for. You'll find out that if you decide to become a patron of mine to support me, that any funds I get from Patreon, minus fees and taxes, half of the net that I have left over goes to charity, and the other half goes to my living expenses and improving my content and equipment, and buying new software, getting more games, and running giveaways and stuff like that. So it'd be really helpful for me if you could support me, because you're not only supporting me, you're supporting a bunch of people who really need it. As always, this is Excalibur, and I'm out.